On a scale of 1 to soil my trousers violently, how concerned should I be about this whole rift situation?
Prosecuting viscerally.
You're about to enter territory controlled by Anti's choice. Act accordingly, or you'll end up as close friends with the inside of a Raptidon. If you have business with Commander Purcell, I suggest you get to it. He doesn't like to be kept waiting.
Thanks for working hard, so I don't have to.
Yeah. Nice of you to shoulder a bit of the workload.
You there, you came from outside the camp, didn't you? Do you have a minute to take a job? For science, of course. Interested in work, or was the allure of helping to advance science and being paid for it too much to resist? I'll get right to it then. I need someone to bring me a Gorvid egg. I'm a head biological researcher doing some fascinating and mighty important work with Gorvids. I sent my assistant off to the north with a tracking device, hoping he'd lay hands on a Gorvid egg. I desperately need that egg for my research. Could you bring me one? Oh, and bring back my assistant, too, if you find him with all his pieces still stuck together. He ain't much good for assisting in research if he's all torn up. Sound reasonable? Which of my assorted critters would you like to know about? We've got quite a pile of them here on Praetor. Excellent hunters, trackers, and shock troops. Extremely loyal, now that we have them on an all-meaty roll-ups diet. We tried them, and they were devastating for all of 12 hours. Then we found out the hard way that they're attracted to lightning, which I claim credit for discovering. Once all the queens got zapped, that was about it. There's no more real hives now, just a few wasps left in the mountains. Gorvids are absolutely fascinating. A sort of simian-avian hybrid, extremely deadly. Absolutely incredible physiology. I can't wait to have an egg. The thought of being the first person to catalog the process makes me positively giddy with excitement. The profits from my next few papers are going to be incredible. Guilty as charged. My job is studying which critters we can use to fight the Protectorate here on Praetor. Right now, it's mostly Raptidons, which I'd be more than happy to talk on at length if you've an interest. Excellent. Which ones? Something else, then? I sent him off with a tracking device to find a Gorvid egg. He might be out of his depth. Can you find him and bring him and the egg, or at least the egg, back for me? Almost definitely a lethal encounter with a Gorvid, ending in brutal dismemberment. That's what happened to my other 5 assistants. I know. You're absolutely right. I should have held one back to do all the grunt work. Now I have to take apart my own research station. What was I thinking? We found signs of Gorvid activity. I sent him off in hopes he could put a tracker on a Gorvid. Then we could follow it back to its nest. Should be just north from here. Something else, then? Ask away. A little free information is a small price to pay. Excellent question. There is some special process inside the egg that happens just before hatching. I need to watch this in a lab, then swoop in at the last second and dissect it. Do they have chickens where you're from? Gorvids and chickens are very alike, except Gorvids are big, strong as an automech, absolutely deadly, and will happily murder you given a chance. Likely still tasty, though. Some bits? A rather unique weapon from my time in the projectile weapon division of the biological weapons team, and most importantly, a mention in my next paper. Something else, then? Thank you! I can hardly wait to get started on that egg.
Wrangling raptidons may seem a mite dangerous, but it's a far safer endeavor than being one of Tedford's research assistants.
Not a lot of unfamiliar visages this side of Praetor. Our surplus is available for purchase if you're in need of something. More than happy to oblige.
What have we here? You're definitely not a member of my battalion. You best be here on business. My time is valuable. Oh, I didn't realize there were any enhanced soldier candidates left, and certainly none deployed to Praetor. I'd think it wouldn't be worth the cost of transportation.
You didn't miss anything. I ain't deployed. Could say I'm more of a freelancer these days.
I had high hopes for the enhanced soldier program. A good idea with disappointing results. Still, you seem more functional than most of the others I've seen. And there's certainly work for freelancers on this desolate rock. Now then, I assume you have a reason for being here. Why would I be? Are your lamps broken? Praetor is a dirtball racked by lightning storms. I understand the strategic value of Praetor, but this assignment is beneath me. In orbit, sitting in HQ, being involved in overall strategic planning of the system-wide campaign. My superior assigning me here. What else? Huh. That sounds like something a lifer on a factory line says. If I could have solved it that easily, it would have been solved by now. If you think it's so trivial, deal with it yourself. Make it quick. We were working on getting around it by tunneling through a mountain. Unfortunately, work is ground to a halt, extending my deployment on this void-forsaken dirtball. Agreed. But they have no defenses on that side. Why would you defend the side of an unclimbable mountain range? We could catch them off guard and put an early end to this campaign. Our equipment detected some kind of anomaly, mostly vibrations. Until we know what it is, I ordered to stop. Causing a cave-in gains us nothing. Of course not, No, I'm not gonna dig into this right now.
Someone's bucking for a promotion.
Yeah.
Punitive action.
Raft's back in business.
I am loath to admit I require medical assistance. You have my thanks and my hammer.
You're the maverick freelancer from the wireless.
Appreciate you handling our dirty work.
There's a new face. Any chance you've brung news from the commander? Can't restart the dig without his permission, and clock's ticking on my getting that early completion bonus. It's a puzzler, that's for sure. More likely than not, some kind of old protectorate infrastructure, maybe sewage or a conveyor. Messy, but mostly harmless. Worst case, it's a uranium gas pipe, and further drilling will kill everyone here in seconds. It'd be hard to collect bits for making a tunnel with no workers to dig it first. Agreed. Wouldn't want to miss that juicy bonus. Not unless your lamps can see through solid rock and figure out what's on the far side. Goodbye, early completion bonus. You back to see more of the tunnel? I'll save you the trip. Not a pebble has budged. Same is true of our bit accounts, sadly. Not unless your lamps can see through solid rock and figure out... You back to see more of the tunnel? Not unless your lamps can see through solid...
I don't get it. Like, I can see through the rock and I can see that there's protected soldiers waiting on the other side, but no danger. So, what do I do?
You back to see more of the tunnel? I'll save you. Pardon me, but you what? You just have a magic little device in your pocket that lets you detect enemy troops through 2 feet of solid rock? Well, ain't that something? Wait, that means they already dug half the tunnel for me. That bonus is still in reach. That don't change me needing to get the commander's go-ahead to restart the digging. What say you run yourself back to the base and get me the okay? Just down the road. Can't miss it.
Yeah.
Those raps are trained all right. Rather not fight them if it's all the same to you.
Looks like we're about to have company of the unwanted kind. You've 5 seconds to make plain your intent before I let my boys here pitch some swill at you. Friend, huh? All the more reason you ought to turn a somersault and stroll on back the way you came. A chemical factory's no place for idle wanderings. Not sure what curiosity's compelling you, but you seem an all-right sort. Long as you don't make trouble, suppose there's no harm in letting you look about. You've access to the main floor, but mind yourself. There's a fair few hazards about the factory, and folks on the upper level aren't like to be as amenable as me about your visit. Auntie's Choice ain't liable for any injuries incurred while in or around the factory.
I shudder to imagine what Auntie's Choice is currently using this facility for.
The sooner it is returned to Protectorate hands, the better.
Yeah.
Working hard or hardly working? That's rhetorical.
Second floor's off limits. But hate to waste my weekly allotment of bullets on you. Keep away from the stairs.
Don't even think about disrupting the marketplace.
Pleasure not doing business with you. I think I heard something. I'll give it a look. What in law's name is this thing? Wow, I ain't seen one of these in years.
Yeah.
Ears are still ringing. Hope the sprats ain't returned.
All right, that marks an hour since ingestion. Now, tell me, how do you feel? And remember, this is for user research, so please be honest.
I swear, everything around here's held together with not more than a wish and old adhesive.
There doesn't seem to be anything of value up there. I'm guessing there's some sort of quest I don't currently have available for that chemical call-up code, so I don't really need to kill that guy for no reason. We might come back here if we get an actual quest to do it, but I don't see a need to.
Spare me your sales pitch. Maybe focus on self-bettering yourself.
You know, I reckon half the corpses in here end up as Raptidon chow.
Yes, and?
I spent some time as a Raptidon training assistant. If I get my final severance pay in this war, will one of the Raptidons I trained eat me?
Boyd, stop! I don't want to listen to you jaw about this.
Well, maybe it'll be Ripper, or Little Chompy.
Stop!
I assume you've got something important to discuss, or a report to give. I don't have time to waste on idle jawing. Forgive my incredulity, but how did you get that information? I see. Quite a useful bit of technology. Our engineers determined this was the most geologically stable place to tunnel. The Protectorate likely did the same, and even stopped drilling for the same reason we did. I'll send orders to resume drilling immediately. We'll take them by surprise. Send them running, and I'll be one step closer to getting off this dirtball.
What's going on here?
If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates!
Those signs hardly seem capable of cracking through skulls.
That's right, folks. Keep the chanting going. I can see the overseer
Others
up in your
get the
office.
exact
We're
same
definitely
pay,
making
but
her
only
miserable.
work 12-hour days!
Welcome, fellow disgruntled worker. Can't say I recognize you. You come from a different plant to support our cause? We're causing trouble. We just found out that we're basically slave labor. And now we're learning to stand up for ourselves. Dunbar, one of our level 3 packers, explained it to us. He's got a new coiffeured friend who's helped us understand the workers' plight of, our politeness or something. We need the proletariat to yield to, worker subjugation by xenophobic proxy? No, that ain't right. But it's something that sounds super fancy when Will explains it. Honestly, we just want to eat, sleep, and relieve ourselves on a reasonable schedule. But the damn overseer, I think she's getting rich off of breaking our backs. I ain't sure how you're gonna get in. This door is barred from the inside, and I don't think there's another way in on the ground floor.
We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
Protectorate brass keeps their people on a strict need-to-know-nothing basis. Our agents in proprietary inside acquisition think a Sentinel training...
Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days! With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for Adrena time! We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
Appreciate you handling our dirty work.
So, you're sent by the home office, huh? Wish I was back on the claim right now. Being on this scarce moon has gotten all kinds of old.
If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates! If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates!
Whatever it is you're after, go looking for it somewhere else.
You seem like a go-getter.
Ever read the middle
lunch
manager
sometime.
handbook? Really shores up the foundation of your fundamentals.
Have a profitable day.
Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. Is there something you need? See that repackaging facility down there? We're supposed to be working it, slaving away for a few meager bits that we then gotta use to pay for our own necessities. They work us like cysty pigs, charge us for the stims we need to yoke those hours, and don't let us relieve ourselves but in empty fizzy tea bottles we keep beneath our stations. So, we're making trouble until that changes. Until we get some respect. Until the privy is left open all day. Indeed. Gotta say, I'm glad to hear you are, at least in spirit, aligned with our plight. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Perhaps a sprat has perished elsewhere in the vents.
Machines have been off for a week. Can't believe what I'm losing on adrenatime and antiphysos numrum.
So a lone individual benefits wholly, while the collective suffers? Why do they not simply kill her?
We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
Welcome to Auntie's Fine Product Revitalization Center, where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule and is making me look quite the fool. Unsophisticated, impertinent, dim-witted. You'll fit right in with my peons. So, maybe it'll make sense to you when they babble about basic dignity and human rights. It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice. And if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences.
I reckon she's got her wires crossed. Basic dignity is what Auntie's Choice promised us when we signed up, so long as we were good at our work. And while we might have faced grave consequences back on Tau Ceti, it was under old management, who were trounced rather thoroughly in the end, I might add.
Nevertheless, here we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to. Absolutely. These lugs have been positively exalted in the good fortune of rising to their limited station within the meritocracy that Auntie has derived for us. Why? Can you imagine suffering under the yoke of a sovereign's rule, or floundering at the ridiculous direction of those claiming to know the future by way of math? No. Only within Auntie's Choice can these drudges achieve genuine prominence. If they exhibit excessive dedication, they may even earn some modicum of the success I have enjoyed. You're asking me? That clearly is your domain.
Running this invaluable facility on Andy's behalf is mine. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon. This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer. Dumbly? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. If I'm honest, my gaze is purely focused up the ladder, not down it. I am a very important upper, middle, lower manager, and the way I advance that status scantily involves learning the names and faces of my peons. Their value is in providing their minuscule contribution to this mighty and prestigious corporation. And by providing their maximal effort, they allow me to ascend, vacating this position so that one of their undistinguished masses can fill it, thereby becoming distinguished. Well, that's all fine and good in your system. But here in Arcadia, it is Auntie's needs we cater to, and right now, her need is you convince Dumbly Dunbar to get back to work. I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. They alter the generous terms Auntie offers, and so are egregious and should be rejected. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation, so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Yes, well, I'm sure you'll manage. Auntie has faith in you, therefore I shall too. Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you, you are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud.
No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors!
Yeah.
Heads up! Make some space! We've got a sanctioned, non-employee professional
With no rest and no downtime! We shouldn't pay for a treat at a time!
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Then what in law's name are you doing here? Well, that certainly is unexpected, and potentially wonderful. Assuming, of course, you can actually help us. And he's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is, poor, labor retention techniques? What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that. Right, exactly. The conditions under which Auntie extracts our labor is, unacceptable. They're egregious, even.
They work 20-hour shifts, which require stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties. No, I'm just a fellow underling suffering the corporate grind who saw the plight of these poor folk and needed to help them make a fair and reasonable deal.
That's right. Leo has been an absolute wealth of what's what. Without him, we would still be toiling
under the yoke of oppressive undervaluation due to monstrous mismanagement.
Right, that.
Me? Why, my only motivation is...
Now hold it right there. We aren't here to talk about Leo. We're here to talk about what it's going to take to make us get back to work, right? Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're gnawing nickel pads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Thank you for your trying. I don't know if we'll get it all, but every bit you add makes some part of our lives a whole lot easier.
Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days!
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets to be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? 12-hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. Their hero, you say? Well, I hadn't considered that. If they adore, in addition to respect me, they'll be far more receptive to overtime and reduced bonuses. That would translate into more profit for the plant, which means larger bonuses for me, which should be more than enough to make up for the drop in hourly production. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. Oh my. You're probably right. It's been so long since I've shared a facility, I've forgotten how unpleasant it can be. I trust your insight, and will leave it unlocked from now on. What more do they want? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. What in the void are you talking about? My greed is certainly doing no such thing. What? No! I would never! That's slander. And or libel. And you can't prove a thing. Well, fuck. That's quite the rub, isn't it? All right, what do you want? Huh. I don't know why you would waste leverage on them, but I suppose you've got your reasons. All right. They'll get their Adrena time, and you'll get all the bits I got on me. Is there more they ask? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible.
With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for Adrena time!
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? She willing to see reason? Well, I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is. By which I mean, that's great news. It'll be such a load off. A most promising development. How go the other hurdles of the negotiation? Excellent. What progress have you made? That must have been quite the negotiation. Oh, my people can't thank you enough. This will be huge for us. Free time to sleep, relax and all? Wonderful. What's next? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. I figured we'd ask for free and settle for wholesale. You're a miracle worker. Well, you have done exceptionally well by us, my new friend. With these new conditions, we'll return to work with vigor rather than dread. Thank you.
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how I'm going to afford my hair creme now, but I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her angles for her. And her usual agents don't stand a chance against me.
Next time? Against you? What in law's name are you saying? Sometimes you talk so odd it don't sound like you're Auntie's choice at all.
Yeah, I was starting to have the same thought.
It don't matter. All that matters is my working conditions have just improved mightily. Thanks to you, stranger. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're gonna get back to work.
You did these folk a good turn, Commander. Good luck. We'll be seeing more of these negotiations across Arcadia. Bosses will just have to live with it.
Honestly, right now I'm still way too tuckered to know if our conditions have improved or not.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
All charged up.
Seems the little rapt has imprinted on you, Commander. Don't worry. I'll be a good stepmother if you forget to feed him.
That sound! Mortar fire! We must take cover immediately!
detachment has found this!
Okay, you're not meant to go that way. Even if I did land on top of it, you can't double jump up to the next step.
So, that graft of yours, were you given a choice of which one to receive initially? Or where it was placed?
Nope. Just signed a few papers, paid the fees, and got wheeled into surgery. Woke up with one hell of a surprise on my back. Thought a damned sprat was attacking me.
I don't believe I follow. Isn't the entire benefit of your ideology freedom?
Well, yeah, of course. I had the freedom to become a graft recipient, right? But it was an experimental program, and it fell to the scientists to decide how to proceed, so... yeah.
Commander. There may be valuable parts at this location that can improve this unit's functionality. Performing a thorough search of the armament factory is advised. Should you wish to maximize your Valerie unit's combat effectiveness, building factory schematics. It is likely the desired parts are being stored somewhere on the ground floor.
Taking punitive action. To battle! In due time, I'm unready.
Someone call for a medic. Let's get you healed.
Ready to dispense judgment. Your judgment! Witness what befalls enemies of...
Have you made any progress yet? I can barely contain my excitement. Incredible! And to think I sent all those assistants to die for nothing. I should have just sent a heavily armed stranger first. Here's your reward. You've certainly earned it. Now, back to my lab. I'm going to get so many papers published. Every biological researcher will know my name. There's going to be statues of me.
Loading ammunition!
Heard something!
Most definitely
Mighty
not
glad that's
nothing.
over and done with. Just need to finish reinforcing the tunnel, and I can collect a big fat bit cartridge.
Protector is subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability.
Aggressors in range.
Stymies untoward inclinations.
And none shall stand against us!
Replenishing my firearm!
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how.
Contact risk!
That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Questions on addiction.
Prudence dictates we grant all disruptive influences.
Yeah.
I shall reduce the mass flurry!
Continuing inspection. Making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Lost track of them. Giving chase. His game.
To ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Yeah.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment. Come right in, and be refreshed for long.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction,
And a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
I'm Head Refresher Gould, and I guarantee when you exit our doors,
You'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say goodbye, imperfect
thoughts, hello, contentment.
I don't know what in the void we just got hosed down with, but it's, kinda nice.
Those fools! Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a Protectorate arbiter. I had no choice but to judge them as traitors to the Protectorate. Why would they simply open fire? Why wouldn't they attempt to conversate? Then they should have reported me to their superiors rather than attempting to exact justice themselves. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence, but hopefully I shall not need to do this more than a few times.
Personally overseen by... Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Greetings, subject, or should I say refreshed to be. Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
I think a few bulbs burned out and this one's upstairs. Play along. We should be able to get past.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment. Our intake evaluation automech here simply needs to ask you a few questions to amply delineate your phreноmetric matrix. A baseline understanding of your character and background will assist our facilitators in determining the ideal regimen necessary to abrade any perceived personality irregularities. Yes, as it is an unthinking automaton capable of mindlessly parroting pre-programmed responses. Head Refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself, several times they say, and look at me now, never more content. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / you're right, and it will begin your assessment.
We cherish all we have.
Greetings, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Wellnetarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective. Incorrect. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal Protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually. Each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead. Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief? Unacceptable. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you? Processing determination. An acceptable response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 150 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful Protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed 1 floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
While there are many mental refreshments,
I'm realigned with the paradigm.
Throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Wellnatarium here on Praetor is uniquely special.
I could tell you were in need of mental refreshment. I possess a particularly keen eye for such things.
Responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing.
They would deem my resolve inadequate? Insanity! Their analysis procedure is clearly faulty.
All fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
May you realign with the paradigm.
Greetings, new person. You have a look of query about me. I have answers to questions and no questions to answer. Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm. It is the duty of all Protectorate subjects to regularly converse with our neighbors, so we may determine if their zeal has wavered. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric peaks are all abraded. Pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Notions are a gateway to mayhem, bedlam, turmoil, and vexation. Thinking never made anybody happy.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be
I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question. Drat! There, did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it? Right as rain, neighbor. never more content. I only experience approved emotions. Doubt and worry are notably unsanctioned. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts, after all. Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Why, it's right outside Head Refresher Gould's office. He'll schedule you an appointment. Just follow the signs to the lecture hall. Only internally, I'm afraid. You should speak to Refreshment Facilitator Tilden in the lecture hall. Refreshment is inevitable. You can't fight contentment.
Collective cognitive compliance. Key part of your prescribed curative regime. Think only prescribed thoughts, and no bliss and plenty.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
Only the Protectorate
you're new.
possesses the advanced
Must be.
technology and know-how
You still retain that look of
behind the
inquiry and
refreshment
deliberation.
process. That's why
I'm
we are
Waylon.
all happy and contented, and others are
No,
not.
my daughter's name is Emily. Millie is a nickname for Emily, but I don't call her that. I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say.
While there
Are you in
many
disguise?
refreshment facilities
I
to
don't
be
recognize
found throughout
so-and-so as a
Arcadia,
title.
Placid
This
Waters
feels a bit
Planetarium
curious to
here
me.
on Praetor
But I feel compelled not to question it too much. Maybe the treatment is working. I'd go with you, I guess. But I need something first. They took all my things when I arrived. Stored them in storage. My commemorative pitch balls in there. From my favorite team, the Paradigm Abiders. Can't leave without it.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal?
Some
for
say
their
the
assigned
sovereign
work?
sluggers are better, but the efficient always used to rule in their favor.
It's not just a good
Anyhow,
idea.
my daughter got me this ball to commemorate a big game. I had to turn in my personal items when I was admitted. On account I tried to leave once or twice before. Saw them put it in a closet behind reception upstairs. Suppose so. Maybe almost, at least. One way out's the safest. Someone dug a tunnel in the kitchen pantry, though there are 2 automechs assigned there now, to keep subjects from wandering in and ambling off.
Stifles undue agitation,
That doesn't seem like the sort of thing that'd be allowed, but
fashions the mind.
guess you know what you're doing. I'll be dithering about here in the meanwhile.
Preserve set progress. Sustain.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering.
Advanced technology and know-how.
The
behind
kitchen
mental
pantry
refreshment
is
process.
presently off limits
That's why we
due
are
to
all
anomalous
happy and
structural
contented,
tampering.
and others are not.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms.
System is the best anyone has ever had. Perfection.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Planetarium here on Praetor.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss, and anarchy. It is a sad fact that all human beings require direction. As my good friend the
No
consul would
talking
say,
until the lecture's
at its
over.
base, humanity unguided is cravenly, inept, and slothful. We of the Protectorate are not, because we do not allow ourselves to be. Paradigm charts our course, gives us purpose. The consul is the firm hand that guides us. Mental refreshment keeps us on task, free from doubt, efficient, perfect. And thus we enjoy amity, luxury, and resplendence. The system provides, the system abides.
Think I'd prefer mental refreshment over listening to that shit again.
Aw, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject creator ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gold provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the Lathe of Particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it firsthand. You'll feel ever so much better once your phreноmetric peaks have been abraded.
I was sure we'd be forced to slay her. Despite her quirks, I'm pleased we managed to avoid this.
She sure ain't asking many questions. Though I figure that's the aim of this refreshment nonsense. Bastards.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Noting dire self-diagnosis and ably displaying concern. My word. Inform the nearest refreshment facilitator without delay to book you a session in the Lathe of Particularity today. I am responsible for providing each subject with their recommended daily dosage of Reprioritrin. Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more. Greeting, unscheduled walk-in.
refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Wellnetarium, here on Praetor, is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by head refresher.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous
The
structural tampering.
refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Our enemies envy our prosperity. Disdain
This unit's current work task takes priority. Conversation. Farewell.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Toward inclinations and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of your prescribed curative regime. Think only prescribed thoughts and no bliss and pleasure.
Only the Protectorate possesses behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented. And others...
Trouble it.
Requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclination, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. Preserve said process.
Say, what's that sound? Why does the wall look so soft all over?
Oh, do I detect a whiff of reprioritin gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Wait. Ha! You're not a protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
Scientists of this echelon must be exposed to low doses of refreshment gas to build a resistance. Sort of like arbiters with bullets.
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. Oh, how outrageous. Suppose I should call the guards, but my...
Let it be known that any who stand against me shall be tried as traitors to the Protectorate, no matter their import.
You know, that's a very interesting statement. And somehow I'm not finding the company you're keeping even in the slightest bit unusual. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. Yes, well, you'll see, even in a nominally reduced state, I am more than up to the task. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? My position is a burden gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs ably. Their order is chaos to us. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you About Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. Not word for word, no. I do take certain liberties with the Sovereign's Handbook, a beacon to the cosmos, to inhabit the spirit of the work and give it a dramatic, scientific air. I understand you meant that as an insult, but I refuse to be baited by those either jealous or ignorant of our ways. Oh, that does sound rather engaging. Regular discourse with near intellectual equals, likely less of them singing. Though, of course, it does depend what we'd be debating. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? How very nice of you to say. You're not half bad yourself. For a non-protectorate, not me. Huh. Taken as a whole, that was the most engaging conversation I've had in... oh, well, couldn't even say. Yes, it's true. I am thoroughly disturbed by how much you made me question many long-held beliefs. But frankly, that was quite invigorating. Now, what next? Oh dear, I don't understand how the machine works, only how to use it. The technical specifications for the lathe of particularity are in my office in the next room, hidden in a cache behind a frame on the wall. Pick up the cap to open it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have a schedule to maintain. So many minds to refresh, so little time. What an edifying confabulation. Feel free to scavenge around. It's not as if anything you find here will be any use to your masters.
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive. Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions. Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer! Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended. Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Time run with flawless efficiency. Unthinking is essential. Unthink today. Unthink tomorrow. Unthink forever.
While there are many mental refreshments to be found throughout Arcadia.
What an edifying confabulation.
Say, what's that sound? Why does the wall look so soft all of it?
Oh, do I?
And so.
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. Oh,
let it be.
You know, even to what end are you here? Tell me truly. A proposal. Adequately debate me. Yes. So, what of the order? Our former though you're. What say you about Auntie's choice then? You're in the Protectorate. We have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw so they can fully appreciate the ample bounty we provide, free of doubt and worry. Oh, well, you've raised some interest. How? Yeah, now, what next? Really? That's exceptionally flattering. And something I never would have considered before our belief-shaking conversation. But honestly, I do deserve it, don't I? Might I ask for a few additional particulars? For instance, what is the title of the role? My, that sounds wonderful. I shall head there straight away. Thank you so much for making this opportunity happen.
Wait. was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive.
Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions.
Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Society demands perfect thought.
Villains abound.
Imperfection is
Beyond
impossible
harm.
when the mind is a thing of symmetry.
Back in business.
Gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
lad.
Might have a problem.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varick, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varick. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best today.
My Sovereign, what have they done to you? No, and certainly not the embodiment of all that is the Protectorate. This is a greater crime than all I have witnessed.
Deserves what? Whatever do you mean? We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Well, after his first session, the Sovereign was notably upset, launched into hysteric fits of paranoid ranting, absurd nonsense about how the consul had betrayed him and seized power. For his own good, he had to be gently but firmly restrained. That all stopped after his next dip into the lathe, thank law. He's remained quite peaceful since. I'm certain he'll be back to his old self in no time. Preposterous! The consul and all the vigilant are above reproach. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign, or consider such a thing. To even think such a thought is unthinkable. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, all any of us have, stems directly from the works of his family line. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. We all will. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care, as he has every day of his life. Treatment outside the Protectorate is barbaric by comparison. Our system is perfect. Just leave us be.
I suppose there is nothing we can do at this juncture. Guard him well, Feld. I shall honor him, in health and infirmity alike. I swear it.
Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today.
Their team plays the worst anyone has ever played. Our first back is perfect. Our pitch ball is well conveyed. Hello. You find my pitch ball? Oh, commemorative pitch ball. I missed you so. Let's never part again. Suppose I'm ready to leave. Well, almost. Okay. Ready to go then, I suppose. If we get separated, I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
You mentioned my daughter afore, didn't you? Is she waiting for me somewhere through there? This is all right neighborly of you. Can't thank you enough. Now, after you. By all means. Guess all outsiders aren't as bad as Prudence makes you out to be.
Avoided that.
Who's that?
Dad, swear no. How is this even possible? This has to be representative of some type of instrument miscalibration.
I wish that were the case. But I've ascertained that the calibration is within acceptable margin of error and have replaced the reader thrice already. If he's reading it, then I'm equally aghast that we haven't observed more deceased wildlife washing up on the shores.
Anywhere else in the Arcadian system, you'd have a valid point. But here on Praetor, the flora and fauna are already tremendously robust.
Hopefully they can out occupation.
Yeah.
Subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
At all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclination, and refashions the mind into a thing cognitive is a key part of your prescribed.
To battle!
Better take a gander.
Invasive elements!
Mediate! Lethally!
I sense comfort and close.
Yeah.
None shall stand against us! the ready, Commander. Punitive action. I shall reduce them to a slurry. I shall not stay your execution. Attack mediating! Lethally!
Protectorate personnel, only beyond this point. Leave immediately. If you are not of the Protectorate, you are this unit's enemy. Preparing to unleash disproportionate amount of ammunition on unresponsive bystander. Visual scans confirmed. Logging tracking.
I'm going to have to get ready for work in about 20 minutes, so I'm not going to have time to do the Rift main mission. I'm thinking my best plan is going to be to kind of double back towards the middle and see if I can clear that barricade and get that lightning tower that's there. And then when we're back on tomorrow morning, we can go to the Automech factory to get the part for Val. We can go and do the Arbiter's office for Tristan. That's probably another one of the lightning towers over there. And we'll need the Rift thing to get into this last tower over here, so... You know, we'll probably just finish Praetor tomorrow. That'll be the plan anyway.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea.
Trouble it.
It's the law.
Hearts on pride.
And others are not.
Shall stand against us. I'm on.
not stay your execution.
Scraps ready if you need a house call.
Unleash my might upon them!
We cannot allow this position.
Going damn these monsters! And these cowards won't even fight us face to face. We need to withdraw.
Taking punitive action!
Strategically relocate. Yeah.
Come on, then.
At your word, I shall charge!
Yeah, this seems like a good point to call it for the day. When we come back tomorrow morning, then we will be able to get that barricade down, shut down the mortars, explore this little area over here, go through the Automech factory, go and do Tristan's mission as well, get the lighting tower up there, and then we'll be set probably in the afternoon to do the actual main story bit here. Get the rift thingamabob. Presumably be able to do something with the rift anomaly down there, and then be able to get the last lightning tower. It kind of looks like there might be a path up the mountain up here, but like I went to that cave and I didn't see a way, so maybe I'm just imagining it. But yeah, we've gotten a large chunk of Praetor complete. We'll continue to do so tomorrow. And that'll probably be Cloister's the last world, I think. I have some other side quest things to do, like we have to go back to the ship to tell people about the strike we got rid of and stuff like that. But you know, we'll get through Praetor tomorrow for sure. For now, thanks for watching.